In this video, we're going to talk about why a lot of guys are afraid to date single moms. So like and share this video.
Do you find yourself struggling to meet women through online dating apps? Are you tired of constantly swiping left with no success and not knowing what to say to get the attention of a woman? Look no further. Our expert tips and tricks will give you the confidence you need to succeed in the online dating world. It's time to start taking control of your dating life and master the art of online dating. Imagine meeting some of the most attractive women in the world. Our game-changing program will help you navigate the world of online dating with confidence and charm. From creating a standout profile to crafting the perfect message, we've got you covered every step of the way. Our program covers everything you need to know to make a lasting impression. Say goodbye to endless swiping and hello to meaningful connections with the women of your dreams. Join the countless men who have found success in meeting women through online dating by following our time-tested and proven strategies. Take the first step towards improving your dating life today. Master the art of online dating and take your game to the next level. With our proven strategies, you'll be a pro at online dating in no time. So don't wait. Go to onlinedatingfordummies.com and get started today. And take control of your dating life, and you'll be light years ahead of most men with our groundbreaking program. Get ready to swipe right with confidence and watch your success explode. So don't wait. Get started today by going to onlinedatingfordummies.com and take the first step towards finding your perfect match.
And all that good stuff. So one of the biggest fears of dating a woman with kids, and it's not even the woman. It's not the woman. That's not really the biggest fear. I know there's a lot of people online that say, oh, it's a ready-made family and all that shit. Well, of course, it's a ready-made family. The kids are with the woman. That's a given. That's obvious. I mean, anybody can see that. If you got two eyes and a brain, you know that. If you meet a woman and she says she got kids, and you decide to move in with her or get married to her, of course, the most 9 times out of 10, I would say in most cases, the kids are going to come along with the mom. Now, it's been times where the kids went with the father. That has happened. That's very rare. The kids usually come with the mom. That's pretty standard. I would say pretty common. That's pretty common, right? So it's a package deal. No biggie. But that's not really that's not what scares most guys. And I've talked to a lot of guys about this. And this was when I was in the 20s. I wasn't even thinking that far ahead of what could happen in the near future once you settle and get married to a woman that, and whether she was married before or had kids out of wedlock, it don't even matter. She got the kids, so that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? So I talked to a lot of guys about this, especially when I was in my 20s. And these guys were in some of these guys were in their 60s and 70s and 80s at the time. And they were sick. And at least 2 guys that I can remember, it was like in his last couple months, last days, so to speak. It could be any day now. It was like that, right? And he said to me that I asked him if he had any regrets about anything, and he said no. He said no, not really. He said the only regrets he has, if any, is that he got married to this woman. She had 2 kids before they met, and after they met, they had 2 more. She had 2 more kids with him, so it was 4 kids altogether. And I think the age gap was about 10 years apart, if I'm not mistaken. So, but when he was 70 something, I think he was 75 at the time. Everybody was adults, everybody was grown. I think everybody was like in the 30s and 20s and 30s and 40s. All the kids. There's 4 of them, with 2 of them for the other guy and 2 of them for him, right? But everybody's grown. So he said the only thing he regret is that the 2 kids, he didn't get the credit for raising them, because when he got with this woman, the kids were like 8, 9, 10, somewhere around there. And so he said he didn't get the credit, number one. As soon as the kids turned 16, 17, they started looking for the biological dad, which he said he didn't mind. But when it was time for graduation, high school graduation, they pretty much, the biological dad was there, which he said he didn't mind that either. But he said the only thing that really hurt his feelings was that they treated him like a stepdad, basically. They treated him like he was second fiddle. They acted like the biological dad sacrificed and raised them and was there all the time in the public eye. You know what I'm saying? They were taking all these pictures with the biological dad or whatever, and he hardly got any pictures at all. He didn't get no credit. Nobody didn't even mention his name during the graduation. Hardly any pictures, just like I said, at all. He said that he just wanted to feel appreciated by the kids. Because, he said the kids will say how much they appreciate him and this and that, whatever, but they don't show it. So he said he didn't like that. Now that's the first thing he didn't like. The second thing is, and this was when he was pretty much on the way out, when they found out that he was sick, them 2 kids that he helped raise, they were nowhere to be found. When he needed a favor, they didn't show up. They acted like they really wasn't that concerned. And they didn't even come over. They were wherever they was, out of state, doing whatever they were. And they wasn't that far. It's not like they was like on the West Coast, not like that. And he on the East Coast. No, they were like a 3-hour car drive. And he said they didn't even come over. Might have called once or twice. That was it. And he said they might show up at the funeral, and the only reason they'll show up at the funeral is because of his wife or whatever. But he said that, hey, it act like they wasn't concerned. None whatsoever. They didn't act like his 2 biological kids that he had with his wife. They were there. They were concerned. They didn't act like he was second fiddle, and the biological dad, got all the credit. And that's the biggest fear of most guys dating a single mom, is that the biological dad is going to get all the credit. This little bastard is going to act like you being the stepdad, like you didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And he said, look, that dude, the biological dude, biological dad, he said basically, man, that dude was just a sperm donor. He wasn't around like that. He was out in the streets doing whatever he was doing. But he said, that ain't no excuse. You know what I'm saying? He said, it's not like he couldn't call them or come by to see them. The door was open. The door was wide open. He said he never stopped that man from coming around to see them kids. But he said, man, don't act like don't act like the biological dad done something that I didn't do. He said he just felt like that was kind of foul. He didn't feel like he was appreciated because he said during the graduation, the 2 kids were happy to see the dad. Like he was saying, oh, I'm so happy for y'all and this and that or whatever. And I'm like, so he said he was looking like, this motherfucker ain't done shit. You barely seen this fool in the past 10 years. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the fuck? And see, the thing is, I told him, I said, look, at the end of the day, science, nature, usually correct itself. So in other words, regardless of how much of a dirtbag you might think the biological dad is, the kids are still going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Same goes for a mom, a biological mom. If it was the same scenario, if the mom was out there doing whatever, and you got married to another woman, and your kids had a stepmother, the kids are not going to look at the stepmom or the stepdad and the biological parents in the same way. In most cases. Now, there's always exception to the rule. There's always exception to the rule. But for the most part, regardless of how much of a dirtbag your parents might have been, or how bad you've been mistreated, because there's some mothers and fathers treat their kids horribly, right? But the kids keep taking them back. They'll forgive them, give them pass, make excuses for them, right? But those same kids would never take that level of treatment and disrespect from anybody else. They would not do it. They would, if a guy, let's say it was a woman, if a woman got disrespected and beat on and done all these horrible things to a woman, she would leave. But if her mom or her dad do the same thing, eventually she would find a way to get over it and forgive them. That's usually how it goes. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just telling you how it is. And that's the example and I gave to him. And he said, well, he never looked at it like that. I said, well, that's usually how it goes. And I told him, this is why I would not date a single mom with kids. I wouldn't get married to a single mom with kids or move in with a single mom with kids, because there's a certain dynamic that a man and a woman have together once they had kids together, number one. Number two, you have unconditional love between the parents and the kids. That's just what it is. That's been scientifically proven to be true over, you can go as far back as you want. That's just how it is. And there's nothing anybody can do to change that dynamic. So this is why I say, if you choose to get involved with a single mom, she's always going to put those kids first, number one, which is the right thing to do. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with that. There's nothing wrong with that. The kids are always going to come first. And there's a good chance y'all have, even if you have a good relationship with the kids, at the end of the day, they are not going to see you as father, as their father or their mother. They might see you as a good parent, but they're not going to see you as their father or their mother. And that's just what it is. I'm not going to say that's right or wrong. That's just what it is. You have to understand the dynamics that play a part. We're just wired that way, most of us. Now, there's always an exception to the rule. There's some parents have done some horrible things to their kids. Some parents have disappeared. You have some kids, they ain't never seen their parents. Or maybe they seen them once or twice or don't see them often. And they just never forgive them, their parents. And maybe their mom or dad or somebody got married to somebody else, and the step parent raised them, and that's who they call father and mother. That's all they know. The biological parents is a stranger to them. That happens. You know what I'm saying? And when the biological parents try to come back in and have a relationship years later, like some of these people, you might know somebody that's like this, was a similar situation. And when the biological parents try to come back in and form some type of relationship with them, even though they might meet them, but they don't necessarily care to have a relationship with them. They don't see them as father or mother. Like, I think LeBron James, he was one of them fatherless childs. He never saw his dad until, I think, 4 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And then he said, after meeting him and calling him a couple times, he said he ain't really interested in having a relationship with him. You know, there's some people that's like that. You know, because I think from LeBron James' point of view, I think he looks at it like, well, I've turned out pretty well without you, and I have my own wife and kids, so I have my own family, so I don't really need you for anything. I've turned out well. You were gone for 40 something, I don't know, 40, 50 something years or whatever, however long it was. So I don't really need you. There's no value in you coming in my life when I'm in the 40s. You know, there's some people that see it like that, you know? And then you have some people that do meet their biological parent and they're happy that they met them, and they're happy that they have a relationship with them. I think Keisha Cole was like that. She's happy to have a relationship with her dad after finding out who he was. I think he's a boxing trainer. And she felt like, what'd she say? She felt like that was the missing piece of her as a woman. So I guess she values him from that point of view. So that makes sense. Because she said that was a missing piece. And I think that makes her feel better about herself. Because she knows who her dad is now. And she been knowing who her mom is. She's just a crackhead fool. You know what I'm saying? But you know, so it just depends. You know, it just depends on the person. You know, but this is the reason why a lot of guys are not willing to take the chance, because there's a lot of things that could go bad, that could go left. A lot of moving pieces, and it ain't just the mother involved. There's kids involved. There's the biological dad involved, or the biological mom involved. There's a lot of moving pieces in the equation. This is why a lot of guys they don't want no parts of it, because it can be very complicated. And don't throw your kids in there along with hers. So you coming in the house or the marriage with kids, and the woman, she got kids too. That's a whole nother dynamic right there. I can go down that rabbit hole, but that's a video for another day. So you tell me what you think. You might know somebody with a horror story, and then again, you might know somebody that things are great. But it took a long time for that couple to get to where they are today. Or you might be one of those guys that have met a single mom and things are good. Y'all, you know, maybe y'all still working on some things. It's never going to be perfect, you know. But hey, tell me what you think. Tell me your experience, if you have any experience dealing with single moms. So like, share, and check out my Patreon. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.